Well, hello there YouTube, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showing you how you can get yourself a living ship through the Starbirth Quest and how to deal with that pesky last step which sort of threw me off just before I figured it out. So let's get to it. Before we get stuck in, why not hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on one of my No Man's Sky videos. So the living ship has been around in No Man's Sky for a little over a year, and if you head to the anomaly you're going to occasionally see other players showing off the fact that they have a living ship. Acquiring living ship is different from acquiring any other ship in that you won't just stumble upon one of them on your travels and be given the opportunity to buy it. Nope, you're going to have to get yourself a void egg and follow its call and progress through the Starbirth Quest in order to get one of these bad boys. So what is a void egg, you may ask? Well, a void egg is an item which you can acquire on the anomaly which will trigger this secret Starbirth mission which will end with you getting yourself a living ship. Now I'm going to pre-warn you, completing this quest from start to finish can't be done in one sitting and will take you a few days and it can be rather tedious, but it's worth it to get your hands on that infamous living ship. So one thing you're going to need before you get this void egg is to have 3,200 quicksilver to purchase it, and to get quicksilver you need to complete nexus missions on the anomaly either alone or with fellow travellers. Weekend missions on the nexus tend to be more lucrative and more rewarding, so get yourself on there on a weekend for a quicker influx of quicksilver. And once you've completed enough missions to get 3,200 quicksilver, head over to the exotic collectibles area in the main hangar of the anomaly and treat yourself to a swanky new void egg. Another thing you're going to need is to make sure you have the emerald drive, or at least in my case I needed one, on your starship, and you can pick this up at a space station and it will allow you to travel to fancy new systems with a green star. So now that you have your void egg, you're going to want to head out into space and use your pulse drive for a few seconds or a few minutes in any direction you want. You'll eventually receive a transmission and be greeted by this funky alien ship who's going to give you coordinates to a planet, and this is where I needed the emerald drive because that planet was in a green star system. Once you arrive on this planet, your void egg should be activated and then it should point you towards your next destination. Now follow these coordinates and it should eventually take you to an alien structure where you're going to learn a new blueprint. This first blueprint is a consciousness bridge, and to craft this you're going to need hexite, pugnium and a Korvax casing to craft this bad boy. So once you've gathered the correct resources, head back to the alien structure I mentioned a second ago, craft the consciousness bridge, your item will then be in your inventory. But this is where things get a bit slow and it's going to need time to mature, and this is about a day. Annoyingly, this is an actual day, not a No Man's Sky day on a planet. Now, I've heard it's possible to mature these things instantly by following a few steps, but I have not tried this myself, so don't take it as gospel. To do this, save your game, quit the game, change your system's clock forward by 1 day, go offline, load back into the game, and technically speaking, the day should have passed and your thing should have matured already. If you did try this and it works, let others know in the comments so other people can see it, and indeed speed up that pesky process. Now, the next few steps are very similar to the first, just with different items requiring different resources, so I'm not going to go into as much detail, but I will tell you what items you required and what resources you need to craft them. The next item you're going to be given a blueprint for is a pulsating core, and this requires liquid sun, gold and mordite. You may be thinking, like I was, what on earth is liquid sun? Well, you can get a solar ray upgrade for your multi-tool, and this will make gathering liquid sun a piece of cake from resource deposits you'll find on any planet. The next step after that is crafting the impossible membrane. Why it's impossible, I do not know. Anyway, for this you're going to need an animus beam and seeds of glass. Again, the animus beam is an upgrade for your multi-tool, which will allow you to get fragmented Kaele, I don't have to say that, from living fauna. You will then have to craft the seeds of glass to get yourself a growing singularity. Once again, you're going to need to wait for these to mature, so if the speeding up method I mentioned earlier works, do that again. Simples. Now then, once you've gone through all those steps, here comes a slightly more complicated bit. You're going to want to head out into space again and wait for contact again, although this time you're going to be getting a description of coordinates to follow. For this part of the Starbirth Quest, you are going to need to find yourself a portal. I'm going to be adding a new video to my channel shortly after this one, explaining to you how you can find a portal. So if you come into this video after April 2021, have a look at my channel for the portal video if you're not sure how exactly to find them. So once you've got that portal, charge all the glyphs so we can use it. It really doesn't matter what order you charge them in this case. But one thing I would highly recommend you do once you've found a portal is create a base right next to it. This is going to save you from hunting them down in the future, and you can input coordinates to find all sorts of weird and wonderful things. If you're a Reddit user like myself, head to the subreddit called NMS Coordinate Exchange, and there are absolutely tons of coordinates you can input at a portal, from things ranging from paradise planets to epic bases and even a space version of Rocket League. Right, back to living ship. The clue you get is in the form of 12 glyphs followed by the galaxy you need to be in to get to the living ship system, in this case Euclid. So if you're not in Euclid, you want to get yourself there before moving on. I'm going to input the correct order to put these glyphs in on screen. I would recommend you pause it for a few seconds so you can input them yourself, and once you have input the coordinates, the portal should be open, and then you want to head on through to get to that living ship. Right, so you thought that now you're on living shipland that was it. No. There are a few tedious final steps you're going to need to take to get that all elusive living ship. You should know that you're in the correct place though, because there should be a lot of other bases and various things from fellow travellers, some with funky naming. If you found a base called Finally in all capital letters, that's mine. So once you're finally on this planet, you should be taken to a terminal which is going to give you an empty soul chamber. Yep, you guessed it, you're going to need to find things to fill that soul chamber. Yay! So what you need is to find the graves of 3 fallen travellers to fill the soul chamber. Now this part is tedious because you're going to be flying around the planet to find all 3 of these. But once you've got all 3, you're going to be given an archived soul. And then once you climb into your ship after you've got this archived soul, you will finally, yes, finally, get the locations to your reward, your very own biological ship. Once you get to the biological ship, input all of the items you've crafted so far in the video, and your ship will come to life. And then your mission is finally over, and you have your living ship. Now this was a long ass process, wasn't it? It's worth it though. And there you have it, a guide on how you can get your very own living ship. I know it's a tedious process, but don't you think having a living ship is rather awesome? As always, if you found this video useful, why not hit those like and subscribe buttons so you never miss a No Man's Sky video. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.